Some political figures build their reputations after decades in office. Others emerge from academia or think tanks. But then there's Charlie Kirk, a college dropout who by his mid-20s became one of the most recognizable conservative voices in America. Founder of Turning Point USA, host of a nationally syndicated radio show, and a regular presence on Fox News, Charlie Kirk has built a career on energy, provocation, and relentless activism. But who is the man behind the headlines? This is the story of Charlie Kirk. From his suburban upbringing to becoming a lightning rod in American politics. Charlie Kirk was born on October 14, 1993, in the suburb of Arlington Heights, Illinois. He grew up in Prospect Heights, raised in a middle-class family. His father, Robert Kirk, was an architect, and his mother worked as a mental health counselor. Unlike many political figures, Charlie's early years were not filled with political ambitions. He attended Wheeling High School, where he was involved in the school's community and youth activities. In his teenage years, he was active in the Boy Scouts of America and achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, a milestone that showcased his early sense of discipline and leadership. But what really sparked his interest in politics wasn't a classroom or a debate team. It was an experience of rejection. Charlie dreamed of attending West Point, the prestigious military academy. He applied but was ultimately denied admission. He has often referred to this as a pivotal turning point in his life, the moment that redirected him toward a different kind of battlefield, politics. Kirk's first real foray into politics came as a teenager. At just 18 years old, he wrote an essay for Breitbart News titled, "Liberal Bias Starts in High School Economics Textbooks." The piece argued that education was slanted against conservative ideas, and it caught the attention of conservative commentators. That same year, in 2012, Kirk attended the Republican National Convention in Tampa, Florida. It was there that he connected with influential figures in the conservative movement. Encouraged by the energy of the convention, and convinced that young conservatives needed a voice, he co-founded Turning Point USA with entrepreneur Bill Montgomery. The mission was simple: to promote conservative values of free markets, limited government, and individual liberty on college campuses. But what started as a small nonprofit would soon grow into a national powerhouse. Turning Point USA, or TPUSA, launched in 2012. Charlie Kirk was just 18, and instead of heading to college, he dedicated himself full-time to building the organization. By 2014, TPUSA was expanding rapidly, hosting events, tabling on campuses, and recruiting student activists across the country. Kirk had a knack for branding, bold slogans, flashy conferences, and simple, shareable messaging. The group's most controversial initiative was the Professor Watch List, a public list of educators accused of promoting leftist propaganda. While critics called it an intimidation tactic, it gave TPUSA national attention and solidified its reputation as a culture war lightning rod. With growing donor support, particularly from wealthy conservatives and Republican mega donors, TPUSA ballooned into one of the most visible youth conservative groups in America. Kirk wasn't just an organizer, he quickly became a media figure. He appeared on Fox News, sparred with liberal students in viral campus debates, and became a sought-after speaker at conservative conferences. His style was combative but relatable to younger audiences. In 2019, Kirk expanded his reach by launching the Charlie Kirk Show, a daily podcast that later grew into a nationally syndicated radio program. With millions of downloads, his show positioned him alongside names like Ben Shapiro and Dan Bongino in the conservative media landscape. Kirk also leaned heavily into social media. His Twitter account grew to over 2 million followers, where he frequently posted sharp, often provocative takes on politics, culture, and current events. A major milestone in Kirk's career was his close alignment with Donald Trump. During Trump's 2016 campaign, Kirk and Turning Point USA became strong advocates, particularly among younger voters. Kirk often appeared at Trump rallies, framing the former president as a cultural warrior fighting back against political correctness. His loyalty was rewarded with access. Kirk built close ties to the Trump family, especially Donald Trump Jr., and Turning Point USA conferences often featured top Republican politicians and members of Trump's inner circle. After Trump's election, Kirk's profile skyrocketed. He became not just an activist, but a political insider with direct connections to the White House. While Kirk's rise was meteoric, it was also controversial. 1. COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic, Kirk was criticized for downplaying the severity of the virus and spreading skepticism about vaccines. Fact-checkers flagged many of his claims as misleading or false. 2020 election. After the 2020 election, Kirk amplified unproven claims of voter fraud. His group, Turning Point Action, promoted buses to rallies in Washington, D.C. ahead of January 6th. Although TPUSA denied involvement in the violence, the connection drew heavy scrutiny. 1. Culture war politics. Kirk has consistently opposed progressive stances on issues like gender identity, LGBTQ+ rights, and diversity initiatives. Critics accuse him of fueling division and using outrage as a political tool. Despite these controversies, Kirk's influence only grew. His critics argue that he thrives on backlash, using it to frame himself as a fighter against elites and political correctness. Charlie Kirk is also an author. His first book, Time for a Turning Point, 2016, outlined his vision for conservative youth activism. In 2018, he published Campus Battlefield, which criticized what he saw as leftist dominance in higher education. In 2020, he released the MAGA Doctrine, The Only Ideas That Will Win the Future. The book was a full-throated defense of Trump's presidency, further cementing his role as one of Trump's most loyal public defenders. While Kirk is a public figure, he tends to keep his personal life more private. In 2021, he married Erica Francve, a podcaster, entrepreneur, and former Miss Arizona USA. The couple welcomed their first child in 2022. Faith plays a significant role in Kirk's worldview. He frequently references Christianity in his speeches, framing many of his political stances as moral as well as ideological. Kirk's biggest legacy may be his ability to mobilize young conservatives. Through TPUSA's conferences like the Student Action Summit, he has created spaces where thousands of young conservatives gather, network, and hear from top Republican figures. These events often feature flashy productions, celebrity guests, and the kind of energy that feels more like a concert than a political conference. For supporters, Kirk has created a home for students who feel outnumbered on liberal campuses. For critics, he's encouraging a generation to see politics through a lens of division and culture wars. As of 2025, Charlie Kirk remains one of the most influential conservative activists in America. He continues to lead Turning Point USA, hosts his daily radio show, and plays a key role in shaping the political opinions of young Republicans. His ties to Donald Trump and the broader MAGA movement remain strong, ensuring his relevance in conservative politics. But the same controversies that propelled him into the spotlight continue to follow him. Whether praised as a champion of free speech or criticized as a provocateur spreading misinformation, Charlie Kirk has undeniably carved out a unique place in the American political landscape. Charlie Kirk's journey is unconventional. From a teenager denied entry to West Point to the founder of one of the most influential conservative youth organizations in the country, he's built a career on energy, media savvy, and controversy. To his supporters, he's a fearless defender of conservative values. To his critics, he's a divisive figure who thrives on outrage. But either way, his story offers a window into how modern politics is shaped, not just by politicians, but by influencers who know how to command attention. What do you think? Is Charlie Kirk a visionary leader for young conservatives, or simply a culture warrior who stokes division? Let us know in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed this deep dive, and subscribe for more political biographies and breakdowns. Because in today's world, personalities like Charlie Kirk don't just reflect politics, they shape it.